All right, Grizzlies, let's look at our defense here. I think I got one play here with this group, and then I ended up just coaching, so I don't have a whole lot of plays with this group. Then I had one of the dads start filming for me. Thank you, Dad. We'll go over the plays that we have here. But just remember our responsibilities on defense. We all have a responsibility to make sure that we do what we're supposed to and our teammates do what they're supposed to do so we have success every single time. Our defensive tackles should be in the B gaps, okay? We are lining up almost right on top of the guard or cheating towards the A gap. We need to be wider out here. And we got Brooks here in the B gap. Aiden in the, we got Drake, I guess, here. Drake in the C or D gap. Now Drake's over here. Who are we missing in this picture? Let's see what's going on. We got Aiden at the defensive end, Brooks here at the tackle. We got Landon and Drake over here. Hunter, Andrew Dooling, Paxton, Owen, Jeremiah, Gage, and Carson. So they're confused. That doesn't help us out. When we see motion like this, boys, and there's no more cornerbacks over here, we need to figure out how we're going to handle twins or trips, okay? We haven't gone this far into our defense. Owen starts to cheat in because there's no more man out here. Remember what I said, cornerbacks are responsible for the outside most guy here. They are trying to overload the right side of the field. So Paxton is responsible for outside most guy. If that is the man who comes into motion, Paxton, that's who you pick up. Otherwise, we stay on 33 or whoever's the most outside guy. Andrew Dooling, right outside linebacker, takes second most guy. And then Carson takes right, third most outside guy. So usually that's going to be one of the running backs. But if we start to get heavy and there's nobody on this side, we need our corners to start coming across over here, leaving our outside linebacker and defensive ends for contains on the weak side, okay? So we see motion coming across. Paxton's got 27. Dooling's got 33. They're still trying to figure out the play. Ball gets snapped. They try and set up a screen here. Paxton, you're getting driven back way too far, buddy. You need to get off that block. Dooling makes big contact initially, sheds him off. Jeremiah's making the tackle. Good finish, but we should not have our safety making that play right there, boys. We should not have our free safety making the very first tackle, okay? So we see this motion coming across. 27's driving back to cut that pass. Paxton, as soon as you see 27 drop back, you need to explode forward because he's trying to catch this pass, okay? This is a wide receiver screen. They send this bigger receiver out here in motion to come block you, which he does successfully. As soon as you see your guy drop back and call for the ball, you need to be sprinting forward past this block, making a tackle in the backfield. Same thing for you, Andrew Dooling. You see him coming out. The ball's coming out here. You do a good job meeting that running back and pushing it back onto the inside. We need to have quicker reaction there, Paxton. Okay. This is the second series we've got going here. Let me figure out my players. Hang on a second. We got Nolan at safety, Atlas at right corner. I can't see my left corner. I think we have Andrew Gage over there. Is this Hunter Hott at outside linebacker? Landon here. That Barrett tackle. We got Gage and Carson at inside. Aiden at defensive end. I think that's Rivers at the other tackle. I can't tell. Okay, they fake the handoff. They're running a counter here. Our defense is moving this way. We need to see that reverse. Carson, your eyes are up. Gage, we're over pursuing. Here's the handoff. We need to immediately plant and start running back here, finding our angles of pursuit, okay? We got some penetration here, but there's still a lot of space that we're needing to fill in. Carson starts reading it late. He's reacting. Atlas is still trying to maintain outside pressure here. Jeremiah cuts outside, forces him back in. We need to make sure that if we force him back in, we are meeting him as soon as this cut happens, okay? This is why we do those 2-on-1 drills for running. We have two linebackers working together to catch that runner, okay? Jeremiah takes a step. The guy cuts in. He kind of loses his footing. Carson's here to clean up. Finish that play. Okay? Next series, or next play. Yeah, we got Andrew Gage over here and Hunter. Or is that Grant? That might be Grant. If you're my outside linebacker, Grant, I need you up in front of our cornerback, okay? Our cornerback should be farther out, but you're playing way too far off as outside linebacker, Grant. I need you up here closer to our defensive end. We got what? Landon, Bear, Rivers, and Aiden on our line. Bear, I need you to explode off the ball. You need to be heavy on those fingers. You're still standing too hard on your heels. Your heels should not be touching the ground. We should be on the tips of our toes and on our fingers, and as soon as that ball moves, we are exploding forward. Ball snapped, pass, bootleg left, throws up. Jeremiah's there to make a play. Nolan, way to stay on the top. Where's the runner coming from? He's coming from the guy we told Atlas to cover. No, it's 33. It's on the inside. It's inside release. So Jeremiah stays with his guy. Nolan staying over the top. Good coverage. Atlas, you should not be chasing after your receiver here, okay? If you see him coming out, you need to make sure you are over here. You're always in front of him. You're about 3 to 5 yards in front of him. If you start running behind him, you're already beat, okay? Right there. You've already been beaten. You're already here, stepping back. You need to be right here in front of him, just like Nolan stays on top here. Okay? Great heads-up play, Jeremiah. Way to get your hands up. Grant, we need you to come in more. You and Andrew Gage are too close to each other. Andrew Gage, you're in an okay spot. Grant, you need to be up closer here, okay? But again, this is where I'm talking about where we have center, guard, tackle, tight end. So we have one guy here, okay? Over here, we have a very, very wide out tight end, and they've got pro style. They got, shotgun with running backs on either side of him, okay? So Atlas is out here on an island. We got Jeremiah here working off the tight end. Carson, you're responsible for number 10. Let's read and react. Aiden and Rivers, you guys are too close in those gaps. You guys need to space out a little more, okay? Quarterback goes out to the right. We're there. We make a tackle. Who is that makes the tackle for me? Carson reads, reacts, finishes the tackle. Good job, Carson. Next play. Landon, I'm going to work on you on your three-point stance. You're here. You're a little too wide. Your knees are going out. Your knees should be facing forward. And if your right foot's back, we want our right hand down. Barry, you need to be heavier on your hand. Aiden and Rivers, you're a little tight here. Better this play than the last one. Ball snapped. Inside handoff. Gage, way to fill. I'm okay with you catching. If you're filling in that hole and making the tackle, that's all I need on my backers. You read, you react, you meet them, you make the tackle. That's what our linebackers are there for. Coach Hott's happy. They're trying to figure out their splits, their stances. Coach is still telling them what to do. They got outside motion here, okay? Grant, when you see this guy come outside motion, this is your responsibility, okay? They're looking to get the corner and seal you. That's why they're sending out that motion. They want to get outside you to stop you from being able to keep the outside containment here as a linebacker, all right? Luckily, he takes a heads-up approach on a block here, and we're able to shug him off as he grabs your jersey, and we're out here ready to make a play, okay? But when you see that motion, make sure we're ready to get those guys off us as quick as possible because they may go out for a pass, and that's your responsibility. Okay, we're switching up a little bit. We got Nick in at safety now. We got Nolan in here. We got Carson. We got Jeremiah. We got Atlas. We got Drake, Hunter, Anthony. Who else on the inside there? Anthony and Dalton. I was helping him get his chin strap on. So inside zone again. Handoff. Dalton, you're there. You're wrapping up. Way to go, baby. That's what we want. Defensive tackles. Penetrating on those gaps and finishing. You get subbed in, you immediately have an effect on the play. Great job. Okay, they're still trying to figure out their play. They get set up. Okay, same thing over here, guys. We're still wide. This is A gap. You should be B gap. You should be C gap. So we need to shift Anthony over, Drake over, and you have got D gap over here, Grant, okay? Dalton's in B gap. Hunter's in C gap. Jeremiah's on the right side there. Okay. High snap, handoff. going right. Jeremiah, wrong shoulder. Okay, this is why we don't make the tackle. We're a little tired. You read it. You start reacting. But where's our head? Our head's on the inside. And what happens? We have one arm holding him. He gets right past us. Okay, Atlas working to contain. Atlas here, I need you to break down and get his legs. You stay way too high. You try and play patty cake with him. He lifts his arms right up over you. And you don't make the tackle when you're in the best position to make the tackle right here, okay? We need you to break down, stay low, get his waist, wrap up his legs, and don't let him run right past you, okay? That's 2 missed tackles on this play. We got Drake running from the backside, and who else? Who ends up making the play? Is that Nick coming in? I can't tell. Does Jeremiah stay with it after he gets beat? Yeah, Jeremiah stays with the play. So Jeremiah ends up making that play. Drake's coming all the way from left end over here, guys. Great pursuit. It should never get to that, all right? Got to work on tackling. Get the helmet across the body. Next play. Okay, we've got a little quick halfback pass here, or a little screen bubble pass out to him. We're engaged here, Paxton. You keep your arms out. You shut him off. Look, this is what we needed on that first play of the game, Paxton. You throw him off, you meet him, you wrap up, you make a tackle for a loss. You get a little clap from me. That's what we want to see. Okay? On that first play of this series, when they sent the guy out in a motion and they start blocking, you guys are backpedaling. You need to see your receiver. As soon as he drops off, you disengage, you get downfield, you make that tackle. Great job. We got Anthony, Dalton, Drake, Hunter, Grant. Is that Owen out here? Owen, Nicholas, Carson at outside. We got Nolan and I think Gage on the inside right now. Better splits, B gap. You're a little wide, Hunter. I'm okay if defensive ends want to go out a little wide. We just need to pay attention if they start running inside zones here in the C gap, because technically, I guess Coach Hott maybe had you guys doing some stunts over here. I think this is why Owen's cheating up and Grant's playing deep. He was doing some audibles from the sideline, unbeknownst to me. Inside zone. Nolan, you are backpedaling, and now you see the ball coming. You get ready to square up, but your hands are going back. You're loading, and you're waiting to catch, okay? This is where I told you, don't catch, drive through, okay? Remember, in this soccer field, we were playing to this white line. This was the end zone, okay? My 2 inside linebackers need to be my 2 toughest, strongest kids that are going to go run full speed and hit somebody and make a tackle. We do not play catch, boys. Remember, we are not the nail. We are the hammer, okay? Because we're in goal line, I'm bringing my 2 mics down, and we'll work on this at practice, boys. Because it's a short yardage position, we want to fill all the gaps. We want to go A, B, C with inside linebackers. Then we've got our tackles. Then we've got our defensive ends. Because we have 2 outside linebackers that are having to fill in for the middle, we're bringing them back in, and they're going to stand over the B gaps. They're going to be over the defensive tackles here, ready to read and react and fill any gap, okay? Nick, you're my safety. We want you to play up a little bit more. Again, we're playing to this line of scrimmage. They only have 2 yards to gain. We need to push them back. We'll work more on this. This is a 62 instead of our 44 that we were running mostly, okay? And I'll help. We'll go through all this. Paxton, if no one's out here, we need to cheat in a little bit, okay? They've got a wide out over here. So Owen's being matched up here. They're trying to create space to run out to the left side. We need to make sure that Hunter stays out here and then Grant can read and react. They're going to try and go to the strong side of the field here, okay? Snap's good, handoff, ball's going to the left. We need to call it out. We've got good penetration from Gage and Nolan. Working there. Center kind of throws Nolan down a little bit. Nolan almost makes the play in the backfield. Hunter gets caught inside a little too much. You shoot inside this gap, and look, this guy right here, he's looking to seal you off, Hunter. This is where we talk about outside contain for the defensive ends. And this changes a little bit because we're running a 62. Our defensive ends need to make sure that we are not letting anyone seal us on the edge here. Hunter saw the gap. He meets him. He tries to bounce inside, but they've already tried to seal a wall here. And Hunter, if you can't make this tackle right here, it is a loss because, look, We've got one guy, Owen, here. He's maintaining his position. Nick's trying to react. Our linebackers are already on the line. Grant's being matched up here, and they walk it in for a touchdown. Okay? So if we're going to be in that position, we need to make sure that we contain on the outside. Overall, great job, boys. I know we had a lot of different positions we played. I want to make sure that we really, really focus on technique and knowing what we're supposed to do on each play. And as we go through this season, I'll start instilling more offensive and defensive packages, specifically for blocking on the offensive line and stunts on the defense with different formations. We're going to run 5 linemen and 3 linebackers. We're going to run 6 linemen and 2 linebackers. We're going to run different stunts with corners and safeties, but we need to have a foundation to start, and that's why we focused on 44 mostly today. Great job, boys.